Hey, what's up, everybody? It's a beautiful morning, up and early like every day. I get up, first thing I do is pray. I don't look at charts, I pray. I thank God for this beautiful day, and if you're awake, then that's a good sign. So, not so good for the cryptocurrency market, not so good for the stock market. It is insane. I was taking a peek at the 2016 charts, and there's a little bit of stocks that I like, but not too much. I'm more into crypto. Crypto is my game, and crypto is what I'm going to probably stay in for the rest of my life. So I was taking a peek at the 2016 charts, 2017 charts, and if you guys remember when Bitcoin was like $250 in early 2016, and then it wasn't until like 2017, I think, if I recall correctly, 2017 was one of those years that cryptocurrency began to take off. People who were invested prior to that really were reaping the reward. In 2017, I think it was like mid-year or late year, but 2017, 2018, I remember crypto went to like Bitcoin went to like $19,000, and it was hovering about $19,000 for a little while. Everybody was excited. Everybody, was making YouTube videos and saying that Bitcoin was going to go to the moon because they had experienced that for the first time. It went from like 12 to $3,200. All of a sudden, just bam, it was shot up to 19,000, and then from 19,000, it didn't take long to where Bitcoin was in the high 20s, 30s, 40s, and it did that all the way through like 2019. But there was a crash, and that's what I want to talk about. I want to focus your attention to that crash when Bitcoin went in 2018. It went from $19,000 to $3,000, and if you calculate the percent drop, the percent change in the drop, it was very significant, and it kind of starts to look a little bit like that now. I think, and this is just, again, a lot of what we have to say about cryptocurrency is not really accurate. So it is difficult for any one person to say with accuracy what Bitcoin's going to do, what cryptocurrencies in general are going to do. It's just, all you can do is look at technical charts and make your best educated decision as to, are we at the bottom, or are we going to bottom out a little more? And that's where all this psychological and emotions play in your investment of any one investment choice. So with reference to Bitcoin, I follow Bitcoin because even though I'm not invested very fully in Bitcoin, I have more investment in other altcoins than I do Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really the one that drives the market up and down, unfortunately. And it is what it is. I mean, that's just what it does. Bitcoin controls it all. And so whatever happens with Bitcoin, it tends to influence, at least in the short temporary run, it influences every other altcoin. So Bitcoin is important for me, and it should be important to you that you learn the market moves that Bitcoin does and what people are doing with Bitcoin, and unfortunately what the whales are doing with Bitcoin, because all of that influences the price. So back to that drop when Bitcoin went from 19,000 to 3,000 or thereabout. It was very interesting to me to see that is sort of happening right now. That is sort of happening right now. And so if that repeats itself, which I am about maybe 70%, about 70% that it will repeat itself. So if it repeats itself, that means that Bitcoin at the current price from when it dropped, because remember, it was, you can't say that Bitcoin, because it's at 20,000 right now, it's going to drop to 3,000. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Bitcoin was hovering between 29,000 and 33,000 for about 9 weeks straight. And then we had a very drastic drop to 21,000. Okay, so that's about $10,000 difference in price. Now, if it went from 19,000 to 3,000, that means that 15,000 is probably very realistic if it repeats that 2017. I think it was late 2017, 2018. I can't remember again, but look at the charts and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, if it does that again, which I think it will, Bitcoin could, I'm not saying it will, Bitcoin could get down into the $15,000 range. So yesterday, I did a video, but unfortunately it didn't upload. And I talked about, I kind of look at cryptocurrency in 5 stages of life. And, you know, I joke around with the Bitcoin stuff. I mean, I joke around a lot in the way that I use metaphors, but I'm not going to get into that. All I wanted to say today was, if you're not prepared, then you're not prepared. This video doesn't make any sense to you. It doesn't matter to you, because if you don't have cash on hand, you know, a lot of people make videos about cash is trash and cash is no good, and I agree. I've made a video or two about fiat and how fiat really doesn't make any sense to hold it long term. But the reality is that in America and almost in any other country, fiat is the way things are bought, is the way things move. That is just our money. Fiat is our money, and that's the way we transact. So to say that, you know, cash is trash, and to say that, you know, it's just not worth really saving your money, it ain't worth nothing. That's true, because if you save your money for 5 years, your 10 grand that you saved, and now for 5 years later, it's going to be worth a lot less. So if you didn't do anything with it, I agree, cash is trash in that sense. But in a time like this, where the opportunity is there and you don't have any cash, or you didn't work on saving some cash for this purpose, then this video ain't for you. It is for the people that have been able to save money, a significant amount of money. I'm not talking about $1,000, even though if that's all you have, start there. That's great. I'm not talking about 5 grand. Now, 5 grand, good. If you have it and you can afford to invest it without it causing any future potential hardship to you, then 5 grand is good. I'm not saying, you know, hey, don't do it. All I'm saying is that if you haven't prepared, I've prepared. I just transferred from my savings account 50 grand into my checkings account. Now, I would say that my comfort level is about 25,000. That is my comfort level. In other words, last year and the year before that, my comfort level was 25,000, and I had dipped into the 25. I dollar cost average into crypto last year. So I'm with you. You know, a lot of the coins that I bought, they are at a premium right now, and that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned about it. It doesn't matter to me, because that is the way that I invest. I don't invest all in, and I won't invest all in even in this crash, because who knows, next year, you know, we might see a 6-month rally down the road, maybe like, you know, say right now it's a crash and you had 50,000 and you threw all the 50,000 in there. Okay, great. If you're going to wait for 5-10 years, that's fine. But I have a little bit of different strategies. And so I talked about a video yesterday that I didn't get to post. And I talked about the 5 stages of cryptocurrency. And, you know, I don't have time to go into this video about the 5 stages. I might have to do this a little later. But it is within the 3rd or 4th stage. The 3rd stage of cryptocurrency is the pulse. This ain't going to make too much sense right now, but the pulse, and I use analogies kind of like I would in real life, using examples like that to describe the market sentiment. The pulse was way too high on crypto last year in May. Then the pulse began to get disrupted like it does in human beings. When your pulse is not normal and it's abnormal, like high blood pressure or like cardiovascular problems, if your heart rate is at a very high speed, you're gonna bleed, you're gonna hurt, you're going to go into some form of cardiac arrest, and 2 things have to happen after that. So I think we're in the 3rd stage where the pulse is telling us that, hey, cryptocurrencies are experiencing heart attacks. And some of them, like Terra Luna and Celsius, those are major heart attacks. Major heart attacks. And literally they transform into probably even human heart attacks. Because if you were invested in Terra and, you know, you had, you know, 20,000 bucks, you got 0 now. So that's another lesson for another video. All I'm saying is, if you know what you're doing and you've been studying this stuff like I have since 2011, 2012, I've been studying, researching, digging into this stuff, learning every single cryptocurrency that comes out on the market. And then I'll make a determination or decision. Nah, I'm good. I ain't going to get into this. And then I say, you know, this one's good, that one's good. And I just stick with those. That has become my portfolio. My portfolio is only really made up of about 12 cryptocurrencies, on the DeFis, on the NFTs, on the, you know, tokens. Very small portfolio. And all I'm focused is in those. Maybe one of these days I'll go back, but you can go back in my YouTube videos. You can listen to a few of those that I have highlighted, and you'll get a sense of what I own. But I just want to say today that if you're ready, you've prepared yourself. I'm ready, I'm prepared. In fact, yesterday I made a very small purchase of that 50 grand. I think I'm probably going to, if Bitcoin, I'm doing it in four parts. I'm taking that 50,000 bucks now, and I'm doing it in 4 parts. I was talking to one of my coworkers, a colleague of mine, and he was asking me, because, you know, hardly people don't ask about cryptocurrency, but he dabbles a little bit with stocks, and he was asking me, hey, Angel, man, how's that crypto going? I said, look, listen, man, it's going great. And he says, oh, really, man? I've been hearing news about it, about, you know, crypto has fallen drastically. I said, yeah, you're right. But that's where millionaires are made, my friend. That's where my wealth is made. Not on the highs, because I ain't selling. It's made on the bottom, because that's where I'm investing. Now, if you understand what that means, then I don't need to go any further. That's where wealth is made. It's on the major dips like this that I make my money. So I told him, I go, man, and I told him 20. I told him, you know, in the next 3 to 9 months, I'm probably going to invest about 20,000 bucks in total. It might be a little less, it might be more. It just all depends. I mean, if Bitcoin, for a miracle reason, got to like 3,500 bucks, I'm going 50,000 all in all of the different types of cryptos that I own. Because if Bitcoin falls to 3,000, that means like Polymatic is going to fall to like maybe 5 cents. Cardano is going to probably fall to like 15 cents, 10 cents. AMP token, which is one that has been hurting a lot. I continue to buy AMP token because it's cheap. It's at, you know, a fraction of a penny. So all of these that I'm invested in are going to be great opportunities. And so I've already decided to split the 50,000 into percentages across all of those cryptos. You know, like I'm probably going to go 80% Bitcoin, to be honest with you, about 10% Ethereum, and then 5% everything else. I think 80, 90, yeah, 10% everything else. That's kind of how I'm doing it, because Bitcoin, I truly believe, I wasn't buying Bitcoin for a long time, but now that I've seen what it can do, you know, Bitcoin can go down to say 15,000. I'm still going to buy. Bitcoin is something that I've been buying now because it's at 20,000. Very slowly. I'm dabbling very slowly because I might not get at that opportunity to buy back into Bitcoin if Bitcoin starts to rally up. And so if it starts to have a move up, you know, 22, 25, and it just stays there for 3 months, and, you know, it's just kind of hovering between 20 and 26, you know, who knows? Maybe after 3 months, boom, something happens and Bitcoin gets down to like 17,000, 15,000. Then I still have money to just, bam, jump right back in. So I've given myself 3 to 9 months. I'm going to try to play it smart by taking the amount of money that I have and stretching it to the 9-month period. Because after 9 months, I truly feel that the recession, which we're in, is going to probably last, you know, anywhere between 6 to 12 months. It could last longer if some catastrophic thing happens in the economy. You know, if we go into like a major war with Russia and we get involved more in that, or if the stock market just, I mean, we have a swan event, if things don't look good, and if those things that don't look good really blow up to a large scale, I really think we're going to have a very bleak economic situation, and that's going to probably prolong it, you know, maybe 24 months. But I don't really care. I think my goal is 3 to 9 months. Catch it while it's going down. If I run out of money, I run out of money, oh well. And I'll just have to wait with all of that I've invested 5 to 10 years. You know, really, I think my 10-year mark is still 10 years mark. I'm 44. I've talked about this in a different video. I'm 44. I'm planning to retire on crypto by 55, which is 10 years from now. And what I mean by retire, I have a whole plan. You gotta have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then this all is, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm doing it with a plan. My plan is to hold, to never sell. My plan is to then in 10 years get loans against what I have, what I own. If that portfolio is millions of dollars, all good. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna borrow against it. And the way that I'm gonna borrow against it is going to be through DeFi, decentralized finance companies that loan on your crypto. And there's already plenty of them out there now. But I live in the US and we're waiting for regulation. So hopefully in 10 years from now, it'll all be regulated. It'll all be legit. And, you know, I'm going to probably use Meld. I'm invested in Meld. And I'm going to use Meld as my banking protocol to take out loans and live off the loan money at very low interest rates. And so, you know, I got a strategy. I probably would need about 100 grand to survive a year without working. That wouldn't include all my my other investment stocks, bonds, things like that I own through my regular job. My retirement plan through my regular job would also be one that I would be tapping into at a later point, because I wouldn't be able to be able to tap into that at the age of 55. I'd have to wait till the age of 58. So again, I got a plan. You should have a plan. Don't wait. If you're barely going into crypto, then, you know, just do your homework, do your research, think about it. But I think right now it's offering an opportunity for many people to get in early and buy this massive dip. And who knows, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you probably look back and say, man, I am so glad that I made this decision. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just education, sharing with all of you kind of how I do it, why I do it this way, and why I think it'll work. And it has worked. I mean, even though whatever I invested last year is down this year, whatever I invest this year could potentially be down next year. Whatever I invest next year, you know, year after year after year, I have not seen crypto just stay on a descending, a de-escalating trend. There are many ups and downs, but I foresee that in 5 to 10 years from now, cryptocurrency is not going to be at the prices that you're getting them right now. And that's kind of historically true, even with stock market. You know, you look back 5 years from now, Tesla, Google, Amazon, all of these were, you know, you compare the price right now, where they're at now, to 5 years ago, and nowhere near it. I think Tesla was like at $40 5 years ago, and it's at $660 right now. So again, you know, if you're willing to wait and you're willing to not pay attention to your emotions, and you don't need the money, then just leave it there. Because history shows us that if you're patient and if you're willing to wait, you're gonna reap the reward. All right, aquí el gallito de la sierra, el Kikiriki, checking out. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Until the next time.